Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Friday Food Fight. My name is Wes Christian, your host again for this week, and I'm joined once again by the awesome and fabulous Mr. Bart Christian, nationally recognized school nutrition speaker, and a very special guest. Now, Bart, I want you to introduce Mr. Doug Wordell today for us and tell everyone a little bit about what we're going to be talking about.
Well, Wes, once again, it is so much an honor to get to introduce one of my very dear, closest friends, Mr. Doug Wordell, who we've actually spent some time with together in Spokane. Our families, our wives with him, and he's just a great guy. And Doug, we called the show today "Power Up with the Iron Lunch Lady." So why don't you tell us a little bit about why we picked Iron Lunch Lady to be in the title?
Well, I'm a blessed man. Both of us, I think, married way above our pay grades.
Amen.
And my wife and I met at WSU. We were both rowers at the Washington State University crew team. And then we were married, had our babies, and we were going to wait and do all sorts of touring Europe. Well, babies came right away. And we have 4 kids. They're now 32, 30, 28, and 26. And when I was 35, my wife looked at me and said, you said you wanted to be an Ironman. I don't want you to say woulda, coulda, shoulda. You need to go do the Ironman. I just thought, are you kidding me? I mean, that's 20 hours of workouts a week. That's 14 and 12 months of training. I hope you qualify. And she gave me permission. And in 2001, I qualified in Canada to go to the World Championships and went to Hawaii and competed. And I was 36th in Canada overall, the 7th American, and then I was 330th in the world in 2001 in the World Championships in the Ironman, and it was a real privilege. And what was fun is we took our whole family, and the kids to this day, because I tried to do the training with the family, and we would work out workouts, and so that was a cool journey. I'm very grateful. Hung up the bike for a long time because I wanted to get back to focusing on the family and putting the family first, which I think is really, really important. Mm-hmm. And then I've been in school food service. I mean, I've called myself the head lunch lady, and I always say child nutrition professional too, because I never want to use that. We are child nutrition professionals. Amen. But I mean, dear, people say the lunch lady, and it's like, yeah, and I'm the head of the lunch ladies, and they're the best people in the world. Our child nutrition professionals would take a bullet for a kid, and so to know that we've got that, and I'm a part of that industry, I'm proud. So there you go, the Iron Lunch Lady, food guy.
Yeah, so that and you said you've been in Spokane. I know your background is you worked in food services for a long time, and then you sort of made the transition to nutrition. And I got to read this what you wrote here. What I got from it says. Unfortunately, years of fortified bureaucracy and inconsiderate requests from his children to take cold lunch in their new lunch pails turned Doug into a coarse, evil, hard-nosed bureaucrat who squashes change with his evil stare and halts progress by muddying the waters with his own chaos theory. Now, I know you, and none of that fits, so I gotta know where that came from.
It just, the truth is, this is year 32. I'm going 33 years. I was going to go work with Olympic athlete. I was going to be a physical therapist, and then, like I said, we're married. I got a job offer, and it was with Marriott Corporation. And actually, it kind of started early. I mean, I was a contract food service professional within schools, and then got my first director's position opportunity in Central Oregon with the Ben Lapine schools. So I have been with bureaucracy. This is my 23rd year with the Spokane Public Schools, and I've learned that I don't want to let the bureaucracy and the time jade me. And so think about that. I was like, what's happening? I'm just going to have some fun with it. And it is the kind of energy that I wanted to put in to at least make people smile before I told them how it really works.
But you did something that I thought was, I remember it so vividly. You were talking about love, and you started showing Valentine cards and things that you'd gotten from your family and things you got from other people. So I know that you, like me, share this
don't need to hear it from somebody else, but when they hear it from and so fun. But for me, fencing on Helen's on our and if we don't need to go, we won't go. But making moments. I'm trying to pull our team together, and everything tries to go sideways here. How do we celebrate? How do we connect and make that? I say I'm trying to be obsessed.
In in a quarantine, you have to create those moments at that point. But it's really kind of so I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah, and we can make those moments. And this virtual stuff, I know, Bart, you prefer the real person. I do too. Talking to a screen or a camera is hard. At least I get to see you guys, which brings the energy. This is the world. So how do we even make moments within this virtual world? And we can do a really good job. And I'm jumping a little ahead, but we've had team members that have had to learn technology that and watching them grow is so amazing.
I want to talk all been going through over the past several months, but one other you made a moment in your life that has had a big impact on your career, on your life, and just really helped you through this really long and accomplished career that you've had in school nutrition.
And back with Marriott Corporation, who just always said, he just made time for people and looked at me and said, Doug, it's going to be okay. And he would walk me through and just listen. He was so impactful. But if I really he still works half-time at the local hospital. Our sporting event. Do the right thing. And one of my favorite little stories to share with us, if the kids, because I'm going to slap you. She said, you go show up and work hard, but you don't say life's not fair. It's going to be really hard. You face those things and do it. And I'm grateful. I'm a pickle, Mom. That would be, I mean, And there's a lot, like I said, there's lots of people I go to, but I think that's a core one.
Yeah, now I want to go back to something you said just a second ago. You know, you said something. Don't you think that we're kind of coming out of this age where people would be resistant to online training and things that we, because I know that that's one of the things that me and Wesley had started doing before, and getting over that
there. I think that, like any, yes, I think we've got a huge early adopters group that can get it. I would say maybe a third or more of my staff they have technology. They're fairly young. They never had email. Still industry, because we have team members that they came in they wanted to be with kids and work with their hands. They weren't administrators. They weren't technology people. So I think that they're stretched, but that's where we're going. That's the norm. All of our district trainings with safe schools, people have to show up and fill that out. So I think we've got the critical mass, and we're definitely going there. And it becomes really efficient because although we can do some one-on-one, I can my staffing time, and then someone needs to go over twice or what we do as a training.
I'm old, Doug. If I don't say stuff, I'll forget, So.
Great changes and really ultimately almost a cliche at this point, year into different areas.
Several a day on average with meals we're serving, and 4,000 lunch a day. We typically do 16,500 lunch and 8,500. And that was just so impressed. It was challenges, but we got, like I said, extra the district doing meal kits, 5 days, 7. Preferential, like 80%. With daily bags, like we had done in a pain, and we so we thought 10,000. 2 days before 11,000. It was 12,500 requests the week we started. We ran out of food. We couldn't supply stuff. We were trying to buy truckloads of stuff. So it was a blessing. 95% of our budget. We opened up 45 sites Proud of our team members, really proud of them.
Up. Are you seeing the same?
Adam Swinyard is uh, 2 weeks ago. We've had the 5th through 12th grade. They're in a hybrid classrooms, and should be back in
feelings and emotions towards coming back to in-person learning?
Yeah. Professionals, like we're 2 or 3 weeks we've been bringing back a group, and it's this really high anxiety. But when we talk about this, so we've been going. Wearing their mask in school. And the other thing is, be connected. And sometimes we're like ancillary, like on the outskirts, and we don't know what's going on. And I've talked with food, with their education services. Staff are going to help solve those problems. Trust me, every district has smart people available to be able to solve that.
Hey, so themselves in the district. I mean, food service. Essential service.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I've said this many times. I've stood in front. Not now we know a hungry child can't function. Deeper, stronger line of communication with their meeting, so that they know how important. I mean, I think they know how important.
Being present in meetings are going through. I need to know. We had a marinara sauce cup. Well, apparently we have some carpets in a few classrooms, and apparently marinara sauce ate a menu. Our teachers with the superintendent was, our ground to say, kids will learn this, give them a few. We started with it. And so if you're present in the meetings and have compassion, understand where they're from, and then you have the right to message what it is you need, they'll hear you and be connected, and then be able to then share our voice on teachers and staff and support aides and secretaries and custodial services that we need to partner with when you need to have the voice.
Yeah, and some directors just seem to be a little poor, so they don't know how to have. There's tons of forums, Facebook groups, and whatnot where you can send a message. Go simple. You'll get tons of people that'll tell you. As you mentioned, this little John Wayne thing, but saddling up anyway. Yeah. And sometimes you just got to do it. And I think that's the thing we're at with a lot of child nutrition. Professionals, they're professionals, they're learned, they're smart people. Yeah. They've just got to do it anyway, because this is the time to step forward and ring the bell of child nutrition.
Yeah. A little bit, and now I'm the older guy. I'm not as intelligent and knows he's probably can pick up things smarter and faster. I want to do this, do I want to saddle up? Do I? And I has been really positional. We go to do something, and all of a sudden they say, "Nope, you can't do that. Got to negotiate that." And you go, "Oh my gosh! Literally, I've got to buy food in 2 weeks, or I can't feed this." And you're telling me I got to negotiate this, and it's just and you and right reasons, and then just ease into it. And what's really neat is as you ease into it and do it right, it happens. It
about, you mentioned, a bit of just not really knowing what to expect, maybe fear, maybe just unknowing. Talk to us a little bit about a success of this year, something that has been a win.
We didn't want to have to lay anybody off. We wanted a job for everybody. And when we started the year, and I thought I was going to operate at 50% of the budget, I had 76 team for them, and then meal kits kicked on, bam. And being able to provide great jobs for our team members, we again no. And then we started I do a weekly managers huddle. Every Thursday afternoon, 2 o'clock, half an hour. We comfortable with their cameras. Not everybody has a camera on. Go over some updates, and I talk with them. And then because of the way we're tracking our systems, I asked them to do a weekly survey. So after and I send out a survey link, and I get how many meal kits they did, how many in-school meals. I just get them to give me a quick summary, and I'll ask a question like, do we want a third milk delivery this week? Do you need a particular piece of equipment? And I get that data right to me. So in a week, I have this really great data I can use. I think it's been, if you stop communicating out, people's minds are going to be, they're going huddles, and having that communication has been really, really good.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and with kids coming back to in-person learning, what type of marketing philosophical changes have you implemented?
But that's not the truth. We have a great communications team, and we have been, so we found texting. So on almost a weekly, every other week basis, we're giving an update to meal kits are happening in these schools. Here's a fantastic. We're doing with the school meals. We put it on our website. We've got web, so families can come and look and see. FAQs are listed on our web page so that they can go through our frequently asked questions. And so we're trying to use our community. Wednesday meal kit. Well, Monday's the biggest day, right? Well, what do you do with that Monday noon? Do you move it to Tuesday? And now my staff have to work an 11-hour day because we have a 5 to 6 p.m. serving in the evening. We've never served in the evening, you know? And they're doing this flex piece. I did that face parent. So good. The communication was great. Good job. Like, we're using.
You know, I've really connect with students and help them with this. What advice or suggestions would you give to districts, maybe smaller districts, that are
And again, this is a place I point to myself to go, because I'm a little old school. Like, this social media stuff is not my dip. Bart's smiling like, yeah, I totally get it. And that's where people are, and that's where our customers are. My encouragement is find somebody on your team that's good at success. But one of the things, I'm a firm believer in people. Just find somebody who's young and you know, and it could be a kitchen manager, it could be somebody in your office, could be a secretary, and like, oh, I'm good at that. Hey, would you manage our little Facebook page and our Twitter or what, and just do one tweet a week and do the fruit program, or that, you know, and I've talked about doing that. I'm still not doing some of those pieces. I find it's nice to have the partners that are in our industry basis as area directors and share. So I would find a mentor, especially if it's in your area, but they probably have somebody on their team that like could manage that, and just give them the kudos. Like, you're my social media king, queen, and you know, you're going to do that. I'd hand it off.
I like that, the social media queen.
Remind me to embrace it, because it's just.
You know, I've heard from a lot of districts here recently that motivation has been a big key element this year, and just keeping their staff motivated and engaged. It's obviously been a challenging year for us all. What are some different motivational tips? I mean, I'm inspired just talking with you, and the past half hour that we've been talking.
Tell them how awesome. Gratitude. And Bart, I got this from you. I've got a little Bart thingy, right? Being grateful. And we would greet people. We would greet and say good morning and just welcome them. And so I've been talking with our team members. How are you greeting? How's it been going? And just have you been sharing a spark with your team members, saying thank you to them, or greeting them and smiling and just giving that warm welcome? And so just like just literally say thank you. And worthwhile, you just sit down, write it. I saw you doing, and it was get back to the fundamentals of just being grateful. As a great customer.
Now in this time, going through things are happening to people, and the ability to give grace. That every single day. Yeah. But that's been kind of great.
Give grace to each other, give grace to our students. I know how hard it is just to have kids at home. High school here, and these kids have
really a passion and a belief in the value of continuing education. That with all the changes and different things they've had to implement this through the cracks, unfortunately. I know that you mentioned training earlier and online training can really keep that core belief of continuing education going in your district.
Their 20-hour-a-week job was to into our own classes. Really impressive. And now we've always had a professional arm and had our continue to have that. We have a list of we have the week of the year, doing most of it virtually, and have had to back off the volume of it right now, and there we have them go through all their skill lists. We've been able to stick fundamentals. So this year's been all about fundamentals, and we're gonna go right back into. He has had a touch.
What's your advice? Here, what type?
You got this. Dream big. We've got the thing. Wanted to do with our program. Pick one thing that you think would be. And then communication with your students. And we just need to dream big.
But I'll post a question. Is the greatest nutrition that tips are everywhere. So
I've got some. Or a teacher or work with, because they're
Gentlemen, and thank you both for being on the show. It's been such a pleasure, Doug, to talk with you. Bart, always good to see you as well. We'll definitely have to have you back on the
so much.
Well, everyone out there, thank you. Take care.